You had mentioned, we're telling the story of Cherry making a decision that he now can't get out of. He's being boxed in. He has the heartbreak of a relationship, and knowing that he made a decision based on something that wasn't necessarily true. So there's a lot of emotion going on. Why did you pair that super wide lens with that emotion?
Really, first and foremost, it's the emotion of, it being in his face. Was that the military and this choice to be in the military was going to be right in his face, and there was not going to be any way out of it. And you can look to the side, but it's right there. So we wanted that feeling that, like a big wake-up call, like a splash of water in the face to a sleeping man. And the lens just really served that.
It definitely gives you that feeling of you can't get away. Like you are on display. Everyone can see you. It's raw. You know what I mean? It's vulnerable.
Yeah. There's no hiding.
No, not at all. And so you shot the entire sequence with that lens. Was there ever a moment where you kind of thought, like, maybe I'll sneak in another lens here? Like, did you almost have to hold yourself back from the temptation of switching lenses?
I mean, the one tricky shot was actually, there's a shot when they do the rectal exam where the camera's inside the rectum looking out at the doctor. That was a little tricky. But no.
So you maintained that lens?
I think that was the one shot where we cheated a little bit, but not much. And it was really like just physically trying to get in there. But we might have, I think maybe we did actually end up, can't remember. But we were very religious about it. And it meant that, you had to not only, frame for it, but you had to choreograph for it. It actually was a nice exercise in that when you knew you were going to use this lens, you designed your shots and your choreography to fit the lens, because you knew that this was what it was going to be. You weren't going to like rehearse a shot or design a shot in the abstract and then say, okay, now I know what I want the actors to do. What would be the right lens to shoot it? It was this is the lens we're shooting on. Now, how do we choreograph the action to fit the lens? Because we wanted this scene to be very subjective, to be very in his face, to be very personal, we always had to stage the scenes with Cherry very close to the lens. Because like with any wide-angle lens, when you're, 5, 6, 7 feet away, you're small in the frame. Yeah. And to get like a close-up, you have to be like right there.
I can only did you know that the decision, did you make the decision about the lens choice prior to even going location scouting or designing your sets or your scenes at all? Like you must have, because
that was a decision that we made early on. And
because it affects everything. It affects everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that must have. Did you personally like the challenge of restraining your, tool set?
Well, I didn't really feel like it was a restraint because it was, it was what worked for the scene. So it wasn't. I didn't feel like, oh God, this is so hard, I can't do this on a 12. It was kind of like, or 14. Sorry, it was like what is the. Like, how does I know the world I'm in? I'm in the world of this lens. So now, how do I make the scene work? No, I enjoyed it. I had one other experience working with extreme wide lenses, like for a whole movie, which was with Terry Gilliam, where on the movie I did, like he would want every movie on the 12 or 10 millimeter lens, and sometimes you'd go in a close-up and you'd go, well, maybe we'll go to the 14, It's like, and these are lenses that are ordinarily only used for wide shots or establishing shots. Or, traditionally you don't use these lenses for a close-up, but
Yeah.
But we did.